When the only tool you have is a hammer, every problem you see is a nail. Abraham Maslow. Hi, I'm John Rose. And in this video, I'm going to take a closer look at Esselstyn's limited nitric oxide solution. Dr. Caldwell B. Esselstyn was put into a box, and he did a pretty good job of working within the box, but he's still in the box. Still treating the symptoms. Still doesn't know how to remove the cause. Although in his mind, I'm sure he thinks he's removing the cause. At least the analogy he gave when he was here in Houston on the radio with two of my best students, Dr. Anthony Roba, you've probably seen the interview down below, and Dr. Baxter Montgomery. I also have a video of him where he reversed thrombosis on a 60-day solid food vacation on juices. But they were interviewing him, and he gave a really interesting analogy of how this works. And he says if inflammation is like a fire, the first step is to stop feeding the fire with the foods that ignite the fire. That's the meat. And then he says you want to put some water on that. That's the antioxidants from the leafy greens that are high in nitrates. Now, I've seen several videos of him recently where he was explaining why it was so important to eat cooked vegetables, nitrates, instead of juicing them and blending them. And he gave a pretty convincing argument for those who don't have enough pieces of the puzzle. And this is the problem with people like Esselstyn. He's been put inside a box, and he still to this day doesn't really understand the disease process. He doesn't understand there are two bathrooms that we have to clean up. Now, he thinks he's removing the cause by getting rid of the meat, because that does damage the kidneys, and that's what filters the blood and the lip system. But when you look at the endothelium cells that he talks about, and this is the whole thing about his whole protocol he's been doing for 20 years, you know, they finally discovered nitric oxide 30 years ago in 87. He has 20 years good research on this, showing, look, by the time the average person here in America is 50, the endothelium cells are only producing 50% of the nitric oxide. But there's a solution. He says we can eat nitrates, but you got to chew them, so that the bacteria in our tongue can convert those to nitrites, and then the gastric acid in the stomach can convert that to nitric oxide. So therefore, you don't juice and you don't blend. Doesn't work, he says. So now he's poo-pooing the most important thing we've got to correct, the first of 5 main mistakes, and that is the cooking of our food. So when you blend things and you juice things, you're not cooking them. Oh, but you're not going to chew them. Well, you can chew your smoothies, and that's a legitimate argument. I did a video especially on that. I'll put a link down below, where we want to chew our juices, our liquids, our blended foods, and we want to drink our solids, meaning we want to chew well. So it's a good point he brings up. We don't chew well enough. But still, he's only looking at this from a very limited perspective, because by eating the cooked vegetables, that's not going to clean your bathrooms. So he doesn't understand that we have to clean our bathrooms. Now, to really put this in perspective, what are endothelium cells? Well, they're a specialized form of epithelial cells. And epithelial cells are skin tissue that lines all of our internal organs. Our throat, our lungs, our heart, our breast, our kidneys, our lungs, our prostate, our ovaries, our colon. And what's interesting about this is that 85% of all cancers are carcinomas, cancers of the epithelial cells. Now, what am I trying to say here? What's my point? Well, I'm saying that when you're cooking your food, you're not going to, especially vegetables do not clean the lip system, one of the bathrooms. All solid food is not going to clean your other bathroom. We got 2 bathrooms. Part of our digestive system, the colon, that's why the solid food vacation on juices is so powerful. It's going to clean the colon out. So now you got a clean bathroom. But the other bathroom, the lymph system, is what Esselstyn doesn't understand. And he doesn't understand that the vegetables aren't going to clean, or most of them, unless they're astringent, aren't going to clean the bathroom, the lymph system. Remember, folks, our body's nothing but a bunch of cells, 2 fluids. Blood's the kitchen. It feeds the cells, the lymph system's the bathroom. It cleans the cells. So what do doctors do? They don't study the bathroom. They study the blood, and then they specialize in certain body parts, like cardiologists, like Caldwell. And they don't understand the rest of the body. Even those who study the lymph system, they don't understand how it works. They don't know about that triangle lymph system at the base of the spine that feeds into the kidneys, and that's the key. So where does cancer come from? It's coming from our bathroom. Most cancers are coming from our bathroom backing up. It's our own acidic waste matter. Remember, when we have to eat, the blood is slightly alkaline, 7.4. When we poop, it's 3 pH. That's 50,000 times hotter than our blood. Now we have bacteria in our lymph nodes that will convert that 3 pH to 6 pH so the kidneys can filter it. So when you eat a high beet-based diet, it is a lot like feeding the fire that ignites the fire because it's going to damage the kidneys, which filter the blood and filter the lymph system, the bathroom. So why are people, when they get to be 50, why do their endothelium cells only produce 50% of the nitric oxide? Because the kidneys aren't filtering right. So you do have to remove the cause by not eating animals, which is the second of these 5 mistakes, but the cooking is the first. That's the most important mistake. Again, this is what Caldwell doesn't understand, because there's only one way you're going to really clean your other bathroom, your lymph system. One is with a lot of astringent fruits, because they're astringent, they make things pucker and tighten, and that gets the lymph fluids moving. Another great way to clean that other bathroom is to clean the main bathroom, the colon. When we stop eating solid food, we turn our colon into what's known as a fontanel, an alternative channel of elimination. Now, this is how our whole body works. Remember, a bunch of cells, 2 fluids. We eat the wrong foods, we damage the kidneys, the lymph system doesn't get filtered, it backs up. And where does it go? It has to back up into the same tissues it comes from. Right? So when we get cancer, where's that acid waste going to? It's going into those epithelial cells. That's why 85% of all cancers are in the epithelial cells. And the endometrium cells are just a specialized form of it. So this is the thing that Esselstyn doesn't understand. Most doctors don't understand the disease process. They don't understand the roles these bathrooms have. And remember, when the bathroom backs up, the lymph system backs up, it's got to go back where it came from, into the cells. What's the first thing that hits? The epithelial cells. Oh, 85% of the cancer is there. Now, why is it cancerous? Not all tumors are cancerous. How can you get lung cancer when you don't smoke cigarettes? Well, it's because your lymph system is backing up and it goes into organs that exit the body, like the nose and sinus areas. That's cold and flus. Bacteria, viruses, no. Those are consequences. Bacteria are the cleanup crew. That's why we have them inside our lymph nodes. That's why they're inside septic tanks, to convert the high acidic 3 pH to a 6 pH. So when you have cancer, you're losing your bacteria inside your body. They're not the bad guys. Don't blame those. They're the good guys. They convert that high acidic acid to a higher pH. So that's why if you have a tumor and it's not cancerous, then you have enough bacteria and you convert it so it's not a solid mass of lymph fluid that's high. So when it backs up, it goes to areas that can go out the body, like the nose and sinuses, and the lungs. Doctors call that pneumonia. The body's using the lungs as an alternative channel of elimination. Now, why doesn't it use the colon normally? Because most of us have 12 to 15 meals that are backed up in this area. It's the serpent Victor Hugo talks about. Beelzebub, the demon inside of us that's polluting us. So that's how you get lung cancer. It's your own waste matter backing up into the tissues. It's burning it. If you don't have enough bacteria to convert that 3 pH to 6 pH, it's going to be an acid burn. That's what cancer is. So Caldwell's limited nitric oxide solution is beneficial for a lot of people with heart disease, but it doesn't address all the other issues. It does stop the damage to the kidneys, so hopefully the kidneys will start working. But the vegetables, his protocol is not doing anything specific to get the lymph system cleaned. 2 main ways to do it. Lots of astringent fruit, melons and berries, things that make your mouth pucker up. You can feel your lip nodes contracting. The other, a solid food vacation on juices. When you empty out your food tube, it changes the ionic pressure in our colon. Now, once again, the body in its wisdom, if there's too much crap inside of our lymph system, that's our own waste matters crap, it's going to back up into tissues that go out the body. Well, now, all of a sudden, by way of what's called a retrograde flow, we've turned our colon into a fontanel, an alternative channel of elimination. So instead of the body going out the nose and, oh, I got a cold or a flu, oh, I got pneumonia, it's in my lungs. No, let's put it in something that can go out the body. The body's smart, it knows what it's doing. That's why the solid food vacation works so well. That's why fasting is mentioned so many times, a solid food vacation on water. It allows us to heal things that are killing us. Most disease is coming from auto-intoxication. It's our own waste matter that gets backed up. So Esselstyn, I met you back in 2009. I remember you sat behind me while we were listening to Campbell speak. Montgomery had a real nice town meeting, had over 1,000 people come out. Had Dr. Neil Barnard, the founder and president of the Physicians Committee of Responsible Medicine, Dr. T. Colin Campbell, Dr. Caldwell B. Esselstyn, even Dick Gregory came out. And of course, Baxter had a lunch for us after we talked to him. And I remember, I could tell that you conveyed to Campbell what I was doing, because I wasn't happy listening to Campbell speak. And I couldn't help myself. I knew you were right behind me, and I couldn't help but just shaking my head going, whoa, don't you realize how you're doing more harm than good, Campbell? Perpetuating this contagion myth. He went on and on about viruses causing cancer. Oh, I was just screaming, wanting to scream. And I know Caldwell shared that with Campbell, because Campbell pulled a big boner, you little shit, when in our meeting, when Baxter was about to introduce me to everybody. Campbell, you know what you did. Boy, that was really pathetic. You did one of the most pathetic things I've ever seen any person do in my life. Little person. You think you know so much, you don't know anything. You've done a lot of good, like Esselstyn's done a lot of good. But then when you come out and you say something like, don't drink juices, or don't you blended smoothies. At least one of the videos I put out had a balanced view on it, 80-10-10 London. They came out and they showed clips of Esselstyn talking about, no, you don't want to juice them or blend them. At least she came out and said, well, look what Furman's saying. No, it's beneficial for some. So their approach was saying that for some of us, we might want to cook those vegetables. Why? Because we get more nitric oxide. And remember, nitric oxide is like, as an antioxidant, it's putting water on the fire. But your program, Esselstyn, is not aggressive enough to clean the bathrooms out. And that's the real problem. Not to mention the real problem of mankind is we're destroying the nutrient that makes us feel one with everything. That's what cooking does. So I know you mean well, but it reminds me of that one quote by that French guy. I always have a hard time remembering how to pronounce his name. No man is clever enough to know all the evil he does. So anytime you're out there trying to help people, then you turn around and tell people, don't eat raw food, you're missing the boat. You're coming from a limited perspective. You don't have enough tools in your little black bag because you're still inside a box, Esselstyn. You're outside of it better than most, but you're still treating a symptom. You're using food, the antioxidants, to try to quench the inflammation. What's the source of inflammation? It's our own waste matter coming back up into those cells that you are saying aren't working right. Why aren't they working right? We're being attacked by our own lymph system. All of our cells, all these epithelial cells and endothelial cells are swimming in filthy sewage because we're eating the wrong foods. Kidneys get damaged. We don't filter the blood and the lymph system. So, what's the ultimate solution if you have heart disease? What's the ultimate solution if you have arthritis or diabetes or cancer or anything? Clean up those 2 bathrooms, and I guarantee you, when you clean up those 2 bathrooms, you're in for a treat.